Today I'm going to talk about how to get leads at absolutely no cost to you. By the way, if you like videos on how to grow your customer list and build a real brand, then subscribe to the channel below as I have new videos each week.
It's the Morning Marketing Machine, here to grow your e-commerce business with proven marketing strategies and tactics, so you can run your business with machine-like precision. My name is Douglas Levin. Let's dive in.
Hi, my name is Douglas Levin, and I built a 20,000 person messenger list ahead of the launch of our first product, which led to 20,000 in monthly sales within our first 3 months of launch. I also have a link to a free cheat sheet below with tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income. Not sure how to get started selling on your own website? Hear everyone talking about how it's all about leads and you don't know the first thing about how to get leads for your brand? Maybe you don't have any capital, so you're not really able to get any leads, but you know how important it is. You just need something to get you started. Well, there's a way to do this with absolutely no cost, and it's called a partner giveaway. So the partner giveaway is a strategy that I picked up from Trey Llewellyn. He's talked about this in the One Funnel Away Challenge. It was from ClickFunnels. It was also in a book called The 30 Days, which was also from Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels. So what's great about this is that anybody can do it, and it takes time, yes, but there's no money. So it's always about that thing is like, are you going to be more time intensive or money intensive, right? So this is about time, not money. So you're the one that's going to be putting this all together. So you're leveraging an established brands list so that everybody wins. So you put together the promotion, you bring all the brands on board, the brands share all the leads that are obtained from like this giveaway, and everybody gets like thousands of new leads, and you potentially get like tens of thousands of new leads and potentially some sales as well without having to spend any money at all. So everyone's happy. The other brands, your ideal customer, because they were getting a chance to win this amazing set of products. And obviously you are able to build up your leads for no money, right? So it's a great strategy to get started. So first, what you're going to want to make sure you do is identify the niche that you're targeting. So I always talk about how you really have to niche down so you understand everything. So like everything about your customer, like what their fears and desires are, how they speak, like their tribal language, all those kinds of things. So this is no different. You want to make sure that you've got a specific niche, and you also are looking at like all of those kinds of things. Otherwise, it's not really going to work. So getting these leads will mean nothing if you can't really do something with it afterwards. So that's the other reason why you want to make sure you know your niche, you know your ideal customer. Like we talked about brand values, know your competitors, all those kinds of things. Because having these leads and not getting them to buy from you means it's a waste. So make sure you're doing that part first and you really identify your niche. So after you kind of know your niche, you also want to identify the types of products that you want to sell. And if you're liking any of this, then make sure to leave a like below. So after you've identified your indirect competitors, then you want to add them all to a spreadsheet and you want to start contacting them. And indirect competitors are basically the brands that are selling to your niche, your ideal customer, but they're not selling the same product as you. So I routinely give the example of, say, like I'm selling drumsticks, and I've got indirect competitor is selling drum heads, right? We're both selling to drummers, but I'm selling drumsticks and then he's selling something else, right? Or I'll give the example of, say, peanut butter and jelly. So like I'm selling peanut butter and somebody else is selling jelly, somebody else is selling bread. Those are my indirect competitors. So they're the people I might want to work with, right? So I might put them on that list and I want to reach out to them and see if we can partner. So this is a great reason why you want to look into who your indirect competitors are, because you can use their list, leverage it to increase your leads and your sales, and also helping them out. So everybody wins, right? And the other part of this is that when you're going to contact them, so you kind of built up on a spreadsheet these indirect competitors. When you start this process and you're going to reach out to them, like you want to think about it always from the other brand's perspective. So like if you're thinking about it, we talk about it in terms of when you're trying to sell something to a customer, it's all about them, right? Like what can I do to help them out? It's not about you, it's about them. Same thing here. You're just tweaking it. So it's no longer about your customer in this way. your customer is now the other brand that you're talking to, right? So what's in it for them, right? That's how you always want to look at it. So if you're looking at it and you're going to talk to your indirect competitors, then you want to make sure that you're having them understand that, well, you're going to get thousands of new leads for free, and all you need to do is give away one unit to the winner and send a few emails, and you're going to get these thousands of free emails, right? So if you're looking at it from their perspective, it makes more sense, right? So always try and think about it from the other brand's perspective. Next, you probably want to need to go over the details, like the logistics aspects of it. It's pretty simple process. Even with that, expect some no's. So like a lot of brands plan their promotion months and sometimes years ahead of time. So you need to follow up. Remember that this type of strategy can be done like multiple times, like we do it all the time. So just because a brand can't do it like right now, doesn't mean that you can't reach out to them again in say a few months and see if it works out for your second round or your third round or any of those kinds of things. We kind of do it like once every quarter or so. It's an easy way to get free leads. I mean, I want to say it was like Dan Kennedy or I can't remember who the other one was. I heard it from Brian Bowman, and he heard it from, maybe it was Jay Abraham. Like there's only 4 things that matter, and leads, customers, average order value, and frequency of purchase. And leads are like the thing that gets it all started. So if you can get leads at no cost, as long as it's related to your niche and you can get some sales out of it, it's still worth it at that point, right? Obviously, it's not as high a quality lead as we talked about with, like, say, a first access list or anything like that. But if it's costing you no money and you can just like keep getting them, then it will lead to some sales and it's all profit, right? So that's where the idea is like, all right, keep it going. Keep this as a strategy that goes through your pipeline every quarter or so, and it will help with your profitability. So once you start getting yeses, you can start reaching back out to some of those brands that were on the fence or kind of said no initially because they didn't know how it would go. And you can kind of reach back out to them. Because it's the thing about when you get started is that you didn't quite know when it was going to be run. You had an idea maybe, but if you're reaching out and say you got a list of, I don't know, 50 different brands in your niche that you're reaching out to, you don't want to run it until you've got enough brands on board. So maybe some of these brands were saying, well, when are you going to do it? And you're like, well, we want to do it after we get 10 brands, right? But if you're reaching out to get your first one, then it's probably going to take a little bit of time. So you're not quite sure. You can't run it into a week if you only have one brand on board. So some of those brands might have been a little apprehensive at that point because they didn't know, well, well, when is it going to take place? And what do you need from me? And what other brands are on board, right? Or they could have just said no because they didn't think you were serious. Or they didn't know anything in terms of like your brand or anything at the time. But if you're going back to these brands now because you've got, say, 5, 6, 7 brands on board, at that point, okay, well, we're probably going to run it in the next 2 weeks, right? Okay, now we have more of a solid timetable, and we've got brand X, Y, Z, and all of these brands that are going to be on board. Okay, this makes more sense now from that brand's perspective. I'm getting free leads. I know exactly what I have to do. It's easy for me as a brand. I only have to send 2, 3 emails, and all of these other brands are going to do it too. So obviously it's some legitimacy behind it. So you want to follow up to those no's after you start to get some of the yeses. I'd recommend at least $300 to $500 worth of products, all told from the giveaway, from the different brands. So it's valuable enough to your ideal customer. Because you got to think about it from a couple different perspectives. Obviously, yes, you want to make sure that your brand is happy, but you also want to make sure that your ideal customer is happy. Because you want, like, you're the one who's facilitating this entire thing. So you want to make sure that everyone's going to have a good experience out of this. You don't want to just be it's a scam or any of that kind of stuff just to get some leads. Obviously, yes, you're going to go from 0 to 60 for free and hopefully get some sales out of it as well. But you want to make sure that everyone's happy. You always want to make sure your brand is in that great light with both your ideal customer and the other brands you're going to be partnering with. So if you can kind of put together, usually around $300 to $500, maybe $700 if you can find something that's really good. Like if you're thinking about it from your customer's perspective, all right, so you're going to get 10 brands on board, and there's $500 worth of products. If they're all related to that niche, like we're talking about, say, drummers in that example before, if I'm getting $500 worth of drum equipment that I'm going to get for free if I win this giveaway, then you think I'm going to want to sign up? You think I'm going to give them my email, my SMS, my messenger, all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I'm going to want it. So you want it to be something that they cannot say no to, that is so irresistible to them that they're going to be like insane to pass this up, right? Then that's the idea here. So if you can get, usually, like, obviously it's something that's worth it to your ideal customer, which is why you're partnering with those indirect competitors, and $500, $300, something along those lines is going to be valuable enough to them where they're going, oh yes, I really, really want this. I'm going to tell my friends about this. Like, because obviously, was it birds of a feather flock together, right? The idea that that they're hanging out with other people like them. So if I'm a drummer, I'm like, hey, Bill, did you see this? Hey, Jimmy, did you see this? Right? Check this out. Right? And then you'll start to get like the virality aspects that is going to come to it. And then before you know it, like along with those, I don't know, 50,000 emails that were being sent out from the other brands, maybe you get other people that are interested as well. And now you get an extra, I don't know, 5,000 or something that you weren't even accounting for that ends up coming in because you did it right. Right. So keep that stuff in mind. And then the other part as well is, as you're putting this together, one of the metrics that you want to make sure you're looking out for in terms of the brands you're contacting is that you want to have at least 5 to 10,000 in terms of the size of the list. As you get bigger, you may want to make it even bigger. But if you're starting off, you want to make sure that all of the brands that are participating have an equal stake in the game. There's like, obviously, yes, you may not, at this point, if you're completely starting off, you have no list, you have no capital, right? Then you're not going to have a list. So you can't, it's not going to be 5 to 10,000 for you. However, you're the one who's putting together. So you want to make sure that the other brands have at least 5 to 10,000. So then it's just a math equation, right? So, okay, I got 10 brands on board and each of them have 10,000 people on their list. So now, okay, potentially there's 100,000 people that could get on my list. And there's 90,000 people potentially that could get on the other brand's list, right? By doing it this way. It makes it fair versus, okay, well, this other brand's only got 200 people on their list. Well, how is that fair then, right? So you guys are the one who are doing all the work, so it makes more sense. But for other brands that don't have a list, you want to make sure that there's actually a list that they can reach out to. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. So keep that in mind as well. And lastly, to make this an even better offer, what you can do is add, say, an affiliate offer or one of your products, as long as it relates to the niche after they opt into the giveaway, like on the thank you page. So, because some will buy and you could potentially make money while you're building up your list. So just make sure, obviously, you understand that these leads are not the highest quality, but it's not going to be like first access where they're going to be like, I want to buy your stuff, but they cost nothing. So you can get, say, 5, 20, 30,000 in leads at no cost. So even if there's a big drop off and say you get 10,000 people that opt in for this giveaway that are now on your list, and only 1,000 of them are really a legitimate lead, you still got 1,000 leads for no cost. And if you do, and if you added an offer at the end as like a thank you page offer, then you got 1,000 leads in this scenario, and you got, I don't know, 5 or 10 sales, right? So you're making money to collect leads, and these leads, like I was saying, even if it's only 1,000 that are legitimate, that's still 1,000 legitimate leads. Even if it's 5 legitimate leads, and then that's still legitimate leads for free, right? So just understand that as you go into this, and it's going to be a great way with no money to start to build up your list. Okay, so to recap, you want to identify your niche and who it is that you want to partner with, those indirect competitors. Reach out to them and get them on board, and then follow up on the no's as well, and the ones that were kind of on the fence. You want to set up your offer on the thank you page so you can start to make some money as well. And then you want to make sure that the brands also participating have a big enough list, and that you can run the giveaway. And then you collect the cash and sales absolutely no cost. So if you're looking for more tips on how to take control over your e-commerce income, then click the link below in the description for a free cheat sheet. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more tips on how to grow your list and build a real brand. All right, talk to you next time.